Parcells has reason to applaud. His New York Giants are off to their best start since 1986, a year they won the Super Bowl. And today, behind the cool leadership of Phil Simms, the Giants must continue this level of excellence if they are to maintain their lead in the tough NFC East. New head coach Dan Henning and former Bear Jim McMahon head the new cast in San Diego as the Chargers regroup for the 90s. This season, the Chargers have let some wins slip away. Need a win today to stay alive in the AFC West. The Giants have traveled west to Jack Murphy Stadium, the home of the San Diego Chargers. We're there live at the moment. The Giant record is 5-1. The Chargers are 2-4. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. Based on records and based on what people think are the strengths of the two teams, the Giants should win this one. But all week long, the players tell us that Bill Parcells has been very uptight. They say he's afflicted with something called Henning fever. Exactly what is that?
Well, what they mean is that Dan Henning and Bill Parcells are very good friends. In fact, years ago, they coached in college together. But I think it's more than that. I think last week they're coming off a big win against the Redskins, and those are the things that a head coach has to do. You know when you play a big game that your team's going to be up. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready. But you worry about the ones like this when you're coming in and playing a team that's 2-4.
We were talking to Dan Henning yesterday. He says he feels that his defense can contain the Giant offense. What he worries about is the other matchup, their defense against his beat-up offense.
Well, and I think rightly so, that really the Giant defense is the strength of their team, and the Charger offense is not a strength of their team. But he has another big worry today, and that's his starting quarterback, Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon will start. But last week, in the last play of the game, he injured his ankle and his knee. And just before that, he dislocated his left shoulder. He wasn't able to practice a lot this week. And as Dan Henning says, Jim McMahon will start. The question is, can he finish? We need one thing today on offense. That's excellent pass protection.
The Giants have won the toss and will receive. They have not returned a kick for a touchdown in 257 regular season games. Chris Barr will kick it off, and deep for the Giants, number 30, Dave Meggett, and number 82, Mark Ingram. Meggett is to come a very dangerous factor, and he'll handle it at the 5. To about the 25, and knocked backwards by Ken Woodard first. Phil Simms at quarterback for the Giants, as per usual. In front of him, Elliott and Riesenberg, the tackles. Robertson, Moore, the guards, and Bart Oates in the middle. Mark Bavaro, the tight end. And with him in the backfield, Otis Anderson, beg your pardon. Maurice Carthon, Odessa Turner, and Lionel Manuel, the wide receivers. They opened with 2 tight ends, and Moat is the man in motion, and Simms is going to work. To Bavaro midfield. Out of bounds in Charger territory. Vincie Glenn knocked him out of bounds after a gain of 30 yards. The Charger defense, they play a 3-man front. Williams, Phillips, and Grossman, their number 1 draft choice. Billy Ray Smith, Gary Plummer, Cedric Figueroa, and Leslie O'Neal are the linebackers, and the secondary, Bird and Seal, the cornermen. Vincie Glenn and Martin Bayless, the safeties. Turner and Manuel this time split wide left, and Manuel on the move. And off to Anderson. To the Charger 40. Figueroa brought him down, a pickup of 6.
Tell you, this is a guy, Otis Anderson, that Phil Simms is very impressed with this year. We were talking to him yesterday, and I've always said that Phil Simms' best friend is a good running game, because when he can run and his team can run, he can play close to a perfect game.
Anderson again to a first down, or very near it. Gain of 5. Lee Williams tripped him up.
One of the things that Phil Simms wants to do and the Giants want to do is not only run, but run to the left side. They think that they have a pretty good matchup there with big Jumbo Elliott playing left tackle against Bert Grossman, who's the rookie defensive lineman for the Chargers.
Jumbo Elliott did an outstanding job after a couple of breakdowns against Manly last week. He's really starting to come in his own. To throw it. That was Manuel who had it and dropped it. Gil Bird was closest to it. Scores of other games in the East. Minnesota, Detroit, as expected. Green Bay and Miami, just about as expected. Offensive battle. Buffalo pounding the Jets. Been an unfortunate season for them. Indianapolis beating Cincinnati in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 10. Ball's at the Charger 35. Anderson. Cut down in the backfield by Martin Bayless. The Chargers do a lot of that.
Well, of course, Martin Bayless is the strong safety of the Chargers, and anytime he gets up on the line, that means that they have 8 guys up there. And that's the thing that they're trying to stop. You see, they have 7 in the normal thing, and then when you get the safety up there, and we see Bayless right up there making the tackle, that gives them 8 men on the line of scrimmage.
And that makes it pretty tough to run.
In fact, that's where Dan Henning says we may have to do a lot of that more than we want to just to stop their run.
Out of the spread, the Giants go with 4 wide receivers. Simms is out of the pocket. Mark Ingram made the flying catch. Hit hard by Roy Bennett.
Hey, that was an amazing throw, Pat, by Simms. First of all, he had a scramble to the outside. Then how he got that ball in there, I have no idea. Look, they packed the Charger line into the inside. Now Simms can go to the outside and throw on the run. That's a pretty good situation for a quarterback.
The Giants go with 3 tight ends this time, all of them on the left side. They come in that direction. Anderson inside the 20 to about the 17. Picked up 4, tripped up by Grossman.
Yeah, this is a formation that the Giants use now. It's called load. And what they do is they put 3 tight ends here, here, here. These are 3 tight ends. Now they can get out here and get in behind this power. Now, if you take the left tackle, Jumbo Elliott, and then add those 3 tight ends, that gives them a lot of power at the point of attack.
And that's why they call it a load.
That's a big old load.
They're on the right side this time. They go straight ahead. Anderson digging and gets inside the 15. Gain of 3. Lee Williams stopped him.
I think Bill Parcells was worried to death last night whether his team would really be up for this one. But in this opening drive, they sure look like it. This is a perfect drive with mixture of inside, outside run, run left, run right, throw the ball.
30-yard pass completion to his tight end. They've had 3 passes and 5 runs in this drive. Odessa Turner split wide to the left. They need 4 for a first. They got it. Zeke Moat to about the 6. A gain of 8.
Now, Zeke Moat doesn't start anymore, of course, because Mark Bavaro does, but the Giants use a lot of 2 and 3 tight ends, and this is the thing that Moat does best, this 3rd and 5, because he can make those little moves, just feel a zone, know where a first down is. Get up there, get beyond the state, boom, just turn around, and Simms can always find that big 84.
And that makes it 1st and goal at the 7. We're in the first quarter. Give this to Anderson. To about the 3. A gain of 4.
That was an interesting formation. That was that load left, and then part of the load, Howard Cross, started to go in motion, then he came back and went to the load. I think that formation really throws an overbalance, and I think if the Chargers adjust to it, then you can run away from it.
They were saying, both coaches yesterday, that formation is just about like the old single wing. Sims to throw it. Carthon juggled it and then got it back, but he couldn't keep it in bounds. He was open.
Hey, things have been going too easy on this drive for the Giants, Pat. Something had happened. Watch Sims out there. He almost could have just kept that ball and just ran it in. He throws it to Carthon. He looks it in, but again, his hands were too close to his body. And when the ball hit it, boom, they just popped out of there.
Brings up a 3rd and goal from the 3. Complete, intended for Turner in the back of the end zone. Sam Seal was the Charger defender.
That can fire up this Charger defense, because this was a great drive by the Giants, but they're going to end up having to settle for 3 points here. Good defense by Sam Seal.
21-yard field goal attempt by Allegre. And it's good. And the Giants break on top. They lead 3-0 with 8:52 left to play in the first quarter at Jack Murphy Stadium. The story of the Giants scoring drive, 12 plays, 72 yards. They kept the ball 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Allegre kicked a field goal. The Giants a 3-0 lead.
Look at this, Patty. Well, Allegre just tied you, but you're only one behind Haji Sheikh.
I don't think I'm going to catch it.
Oh, yeah. Heck, you can kick one next week, the week after that. Gordie Howe's doing it.
Darrell Usher returning the kickoff. Adrian White tripped him up. Jim McMahon starting at quarterback, though he is banged up. Threw it 39 times last week. In front of him, James Fitzpatrick at left tackle. First time he's played there. Thompson and Richards the guards. Courtney Hall, the rookie center. Brett Miller and Arthur Cox, the rest of the front. Tim Spencer and Joe Carabello is the H-back. Anthony Miller and Jamie Holland, the wide receiver. When they use 3, it's Wayne Walker. Spencer is the running back. A lot of traffic just at the line of scrimmage. Hit first by Leonard Marshall. The Giants usually use a 3-man front with Washington and Marshall the ends and Eric Howard the nose tackle. Banks and Taylor the outside linebackers, Reasons and Cooks in the middle. And the secondary, Collins and Williams the cornerbacks, Kennard and Guyton the safeties. And they use a 6-back package on sure passing down. Two tight ends. Spencer outside the 30 to the 33, stopped by Mark Collins after a pickup of 15 yards.
Boy, the Giant defense ought to know that play, Pat. That's that old counter tray. Watch, they pull the off guard and the off tackle. The back takes a counter, runs right up in there behind his big left tackle, Fitzpatrick, and there's not a Giant in the picture. And that's a play that this Giant defense sees week after week in their division.
That was executed just about perfectly. First and 10. Ball's at the 34-yard line of the Chargers. Marion Butts, the ball carrier this time. A gain of 2. Stopped by Cooks and Reasons.
I think what was that word that Dan Henning was talking about? He wants to be cautious and aggressive. And I think this is what he's talking about. You don't want to expose McMahon to a big pass rush. You don't want to open up a lot of things, but if you're going to win a game somewhere, you have to take some shots.
2nd and 8. Spencer's back in as the lone setback. Incomplete. Intended for Jamie Holland.
Mark Collins was right on Holland, but he should have had that pass. I mean, that's just a quick slant. McMahon takes a boom, a 3-step drop, whaps it in there. Holland just dropped it.
McMahon looking over to the sidelines, wearing a protective mask, which you don't see on quarterbacks very often.
Well, you know, he has that sun sensitivity with those eyes, and that's why he's always worn the sunglasses. And this is a form of sun protection.
3rd down. McMahon had time. Wayne Walker, the intended receiver, a little bit low and incomplete. Lessick is the Charger punter, and he is an unusual story, John.
Well, he's a 30-year-old rookie, but he has 13 years experience from the Canadian Football League. Look at this form that he uses.
That was what is known as a shank.
Well, he uses that form. He's a punch punter. He doesn't follow all the way through the way a normal punter does, and he has a one-handed drop. And as Dan Henning says, with that form, once in a while, he will shank one, and he did.
5-yard punt. For the 2nd time in less than a month, we've seen the devastation and loss brought about by a natural disaster. This week, our hearts go out to the people of Northern California. We have watched and shared in your ordeal, and we know that a staggering amount of work lies ahead in order to restore life to normal. Fortunately, many fine agencies are actively providing relief and assistance. Should you care to help, may we suggest you check your local newspapers for the appropriate support agency in your area. Back at Jack Murphy Stadium, the Giants 3 on a 21-yard field goal by Allegre. The Chargers nothing, with 6:26 left to play in the first quarter. Phil Simms and the Giants have a first down at the Charger 41. Anderson left side. Good yardage to the 35, a gain of 7. Lee Williams brought him down.
Well, they got right in behind that matchup that they wanted. Right in behind Big Jumbo Elliott in there. And I think if you're going to run somewhere, that's not a bad thing. You tell O.J. Anderson, just find 7-6 and run right between the 7 and the 6, and you may find a soft spot in there.
Washington hung on to beat Tampa Bay. Meggett split wide to the left this time. Anderson runs the counter the other way and skips his way inside the Charger 30 before he's tripped up by Vincey Glenn.
Watch this. Here's the left side of the line is going to pull. We see the guard get out there in front. Then Anderson cutting right off that. The one thing that he does is he makes excellent moves in the hole. And we saw that. We saw William Roberts, boom, get the kick out. Otis Anderson come in and make a couple of cuts.
He's carried it 8 times and picked up 29 yards. Simms over Barbaro's head, but caught, I believe, by Meggett. And now incomplete. I think he was throwing for Barbaro.
He was throwing for Barbaro. Yeah, Phil Simms hurt his hand a couple of weeks ago against the Eagles, and it looks to me like every once in a while he still doesn't have good hand control on the ball. And I think that one just got away from him.
He won't admit that. He says his hand is fine every time we ask him. But it does look like it's bothering him.
Well, you know, and as that thing came out of there and took off, that either had to be because of his hand, or that ball could have been tipped or batted somewhere on the line of scrimmage.
Maybe.
But in practice yesterday, it looked like some of them were getting away from him.
Giants call a timeout. And Simms wants to talk to Parcells. 4:59 left to play in the first quarter in San Diego. Giants lead it 3-0.
Well, we can see on that last pass by Phil Simms that it didn't tip anything. Watch, it just gets away from him. He doesn't really step into it. He was throwing for Bavaro over his head into the hands of Meggett, but the ball hit the ground and bounced out.
2nd and 10, Meggett in motion. Simms. The ball is on the ground. Knocked loose at the last second. Simms was starting his throwing motion. Riesenberg came up with it.
Well, watch 99. Lee Williams is going to come across here. See, Simms dodges that one. Watch 99. He just comes up there, and he's just grabbing his arm. He just takes a grab at the arm as the ball comes out. But the only ones in position to recover were the Giants. You know, it seems like you see more and more of that at defensive linemen, linebackers rushing and grabbing at the ball in the quarterback's hand.
It does. You see it happening to runners, ball carriers, too. Simms on a 3rd down. Hits Mark Ingram over the middle. Not enough for a first down. Billy Ray Smith made the stop. Gain of 9, and we'll see Allegre again.
Well, on that last field goal, Allegre tied you. He's really had a hot hand. I think
he really has.
People are talking about the things the Giants do in their defense and their offense, and Simms and Meggett and O.J. Anderson, but this little guy here has been a pretty big part of what the Giants have been doing.
I was talking to him before the game. I said, how's your leg feel? He said, it feels great, very strong.
Well, that's bad news because it usually hurts.
No good. I'm still in a tie. Giants 3. San Diego nothing. 3:24 left in the first quarter. Pat Summerall and John Madden, and we're at Jack Murphy Stadium, the home of the San Diego Chargers. The Giants lead it 3-0, 3:24 left first quarter. Total offense, total domination by the Giants. And time of possession, one-sided as well. Fake by McMahon to Spencer. Anthony Miller in Giant territory. Perry Williams made the stop, but a good throw by McMahon.
And I'll tell you, Anthony Miller is the 2nd fastest guy in the league. This guy has run a 4.2 in college, and Perry Williams is really playing off him out there. You see the play pass, McMahon has a lot of time, but look at the respect that Perry Williams has. Way too much. And I know the guy can run, but when you give a cushion like that, he'll eat you up all day with that pattern.
A gain of 26. A Charger first down at the Giant 48. Spencer. A struggle for a gain of 1. Eric Howard. Number 74, the first Giant to hit him.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Jim McMahon last night, and he says that he likes his trade. He likes being here in San Diego, and he says he really likes Anthony Miller. He said this guy has the speed of Willie Gault and the hands of Largent. And that's a pretty good combination. And he said, every time I get in a game here with the Chargers, I just say it over and over, I have to get the ball more to Anthony Miller.
2nd and 9, and Darren Nelson just obtained last week in the game. Pass complete to Jamie Holland. And did you see the hit that Darren Nelson put on Lawrence Taylor?
That was pretty good. That was welcome to the Chargers. Where Darren Nelson, he's only been here a couple days, and you'll see him up at the top of the picture. Here's Lawrence Taylor. He's going to be coming, and the guy that has to block him is a guy that just learned how to put on this jersey. Watch him. You're going to see Darren Nelson. Boom, he just put his head right between the 5 and the 6.
That's the way it's supposed to be done.
And he's not a big load. You look at that, he's 5'9", 184 pounds.
In motion, Wayne Walker. McMahon out of the pocket. And he's going to take off for another Charger first down. Inside the 30 to about the 27, a 15-yard scramble by McMahon.
Tell you one thing, the longer it takes the Giants to get to McMahon, the better he's going to feel. He came in, as we talked about, with a bad ankle, a bad knee, and a dislocated left shoulder. They haven't touched him yet.
Excuse me, I was just going to say, I asked him before the game. I was down on the field. I asked him how he felt. And he sort of just waggled his hands and said, "You know me, at this time of the year, I'm never too good."
I saw his mother and father came up to the booth, and I asked him how he was feeling. He said, "Not very good. We hope 56 doesn't get him."
Intended for Joe Caravello, the H-back. Johnny Cooks covering Caravello.
There's a guy. Bill Parcells says they ought to flip-flop that guy's numbers. That ought to be 64. Any guy who is the champion arm wrestling guy in the National Football League shouldn't have a number 40 number.
Well, he was a nose tackle.
Yeah, I mean, Caravello kind of belongs as a nose tackle. You know, who's your nose tackle? We're playing Caravello there over the nose. You know, but as an H-back, Caravello shouldn't have anything that says back in it.
Hand off to Spencer. To about the Giant 30. Up by Collins. And Rob White.
You see what they did with Caravello that time, Pat? They use him a lot like an extra guard. They bring him in motion, and they'll lead him like a guard. That time, he led in between the guard and the tackle. I mean, they call him an H-back, but on running things, he's just a third guard.
And Rams score a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Darren Nelson in the Charger backfield this time on 3rd and 5 or 6. McMahon intended for Anthony Miller. Incomplete, out of bounds.
I would think that I would leave Anthony Miller over on that left side. You know, Bill Parcells said that he had a meeting with Perry Williams about Anthony Miller, and he was telling him, hey, this guy could play. So we've been playing guys in our division, in our league, that are good, but let me tell you, this guy will be the best guy you'll play.
David Archer will hold for a 42-yard field goal attempt by Chris Barr, who had a tough day last week. Good, but a flag on the play. 2 flags on the play make that.
And it's against the Chargers, holding against the Chargers, so that'll wipe the 3 points off the board unless the other one was against the Giants.
Offensive holding, number 50, 10-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
That might be out of his range as they move him back 10.
You're going to see it's the end man right here, the closest right there. You see, he reaches his hand out. That's a wingback. And when he reaches that right arm out, he just grabs and makes a tackle.
It's Gary Plummer, number 50.
Yeah, Gary Plummer's an inside linebacker. And little linebacker doing things like that, that's a natural instinct for them.
They're going to ask Barr to do this now from 52 yards. end of the first quarter. With the score, the Giants 3, the Chargers nothing. Back at Jack Murphy Stadium, we begin the second quarter. The match between the Giants and the Chargers. Bill Parcells, Giant head coach, until this trip, had never been to San Diego even.
I think he can go home and probably still had never been there. He just flies in on an airplane, goes to a hotel, stays there in a stadium, and back on an airplane. Big deal.
Just say I've been there. Sims intended for Odessa Turner. He's hit by Vincey Glenn. And hit.
That was a collision. And that's what Phil Simms said yesterday. He said both those safeties, Vincey Glenn and Martin Bayless, will both jump up on that in. He said, I have to watch out for that. A lot of safeties will stay back and wait for the post. He said both of these guys do what we see Glenn doing right there. When that in comes up, boom, they'll jump up and cut it off.
Or knock it off.
Or knock the receiver off.
Yeah. And off to Anderson. He is hit first by Leslie O'Neal. And the rest of the crowd arrived immediately. Still a 5-yard pickup.
There's a guy, Leslie O'Neal, who was the Chargers move all over. They list him as a linebacker, but he's really a defensive lineman. And he'll play right side, left side, inside, outside, up and down. And a couple years ago, as a rookie, he was a great player. Then he had a real tough knee operation. He's just coming back off that. He's still not the same player he was.
As Zeke Moat limps in the direction of the Giant bench. Sims steps up in the pocket. A fight for the ball. And it goes to the Chargers. Sam Seal. Pass intended for Odessa Turner, but Seal just took it away from him.
Hey, that was the area that the Giants wanted to work on passing-wise, was over there on that left side against Sammy Seal. He throws it here. This is perfect coverage by Seal. He got a jump, and instead of taking the angle to knock it down, he took that inside step and took that interception angle. Watch Sims, just as he throws it, he's going to take a hit here. See, he steps up, pretty good protection there. Then he had to step into it, and as he did, he ran right into the tackle.
Spencer is the lone setback. Chargers at the Giant 49. McMahon will air it out. He does to Caravello. And nothing doing there. Johnny Cooks wrestles him down. Loss of 1.
I know what Johnny Cooks was thinking as he comes and he gets Caravello. But just, you know, you're not going to get any moves. I think this would be a fun kind of tackle to make. You know, it's just like practice where two linemen hit two linemen. Look, he just hits it. That's a big old wrestling match there. Boom, they go down. Stuff bounces around.
2nd and 11. Hand off Spencer. Hit by Leonard Marshall and John Washington. A gain of 2.
Yeah, I think yesterday we were talking to Dan Henne. He gave the Chargers off. They didn't even practice, and I think he wanted this kind of game, you know, where the Giants don't come out and bomb them right off the bat, where they hang in there a little, maybe they get a turnover, that type of thing, and then if they have, be in a position to win the game in the 4th quarter.
Darren Nelson is the deep back for the Chargers. Wayne Walker in motion. Man had great protection. Anthony Miller made the catch, but it's far short of a first down. They completed 2 passes in that series. Well, that one for 3 yards, another one for a loss of 1.
Yeah, that's not the type of passing attack you want. When you complete 2 and you don't get anything.
Hank Olesic shooting.
I was saying he was looking for Anthony Miller all the way across, and he finally found him on the line of scrimmage.
His first kick of the afternoon went 5 yards. That's better. Megan signals fair catch at the 12. 32-yard punt. No return. 11:47 left in the first half.
At the 13-yard line. This NFL game summary is sponsored by City Corp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
To summarize, the total yards for the Giants, 93. For San Diego, now 73. The Chargers did kick a field goal, but they got caught holding on the play, and it was negated. What's your impression of the game so far?
Well, I think it's the type of game that Dan Henning wanted for the Chargers. It's the type of game where they just stay in it. He doesn't think that the Giants can drive the ball the length of the field, as they're going to have to do now, and maybe get a turnover, take a shot, but play solid football, but not get into a real matchup with these guys.
1st and 10 at the 13. Nowhere to go for Anderson. Maybe he got a couple.
And you know the other thing, Pat, I think the longer the Chargers can hold them off, the more the crowd gets into it, the more confidence the Chargers get. And conversely, the Giants then have to start pressing. That first drive, things look so easy for them that maybe they have a little letdown.
Well, Dan Henning said, I just hope they don't blow us away early. So we have to play come from behind. And so far, they've been able to accomplish that. Draw play to Anderson. Gary Plummer and Gil Bird stopped it. A gain of 9.
Yeah, here's an interesting matchup, Pat. Watch this one right here. Bart Oates here against Joe Phillips. Joe Phillips, one of the real good nose tackles in the AFC. They're just going head to head. You see how they go, boom, they just pound their heads the first time. Oates gets them turned out. The interesting thing, both Oates and Phillips are both in law school. Because the first contact they make is with their heads. Someday they're supposed to be using it.
Chargers almost got to Sims. Bavaro is the intended receiver. Plummer and Billy Ray Smith were blitzing, and somebody got a hand on Sims' shoulder just before he let it go.
I think it looked like he had a hand on Sims just as he was throwing. Sims was trying to hold off Plummer with one hand and throw the ball with the other hand.
Sims started off with a hot hand. Now he's 4 out of 11. 2nd and 10. Hand off to Anderson. No gain. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Anderson, the ball carrier.
You see that thing? That's in the infield part of the field here, and that's where there's going to be a lot of slipping in that area.
The injured Charger is Bert Grossman. 3-0 Giants. Next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern Time, the NFL Today, followed by the Rams against the Bears at Soldier Field, where John Madden will be, and at 4, Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and the Jets. And the NFL Today, a reminder again at 12:30 Eastern Time. Ingram, the man in motion, on 3rd down. Sims has to come out of the pocket. Incomplete, out of bounds. Intended for Stephen Baker. There's Grossman over on the sideline, who was injured in that last series, but he appears now to be okay.
Well, it looked like it was his right shoulder, and I don't know if it was one of those things. Sometimes it'll just pop out and they pop it right back in.
Landetta in to punt it for the first time today. Wayne Walker back to return punts for the Chargers. It takes a Charger bounce, and they'll get the ball in good shape. at about their own 48-yard line with 9:41 left in the first half. 29-yard punt by Landetta. Flag on the play, but looks like McMahon at least wants to decline it.
He wants that field
Number
position.
47 of the kicking team illegally downfield. The penalty is refused. First down.
Dale Hammer is the referee. So now we have 9:41 left to play in the second quarter. The Giants still lead at 3-0. Charger first down at their own 48. 9:41 left first half. 3-0 Giants. Been a rather cautious attack by the San Diego Chargers, led by Jim McMahon. The kind of attack you'd expect with an injured quarterback. McMahon to throw it. Gets it to his tight end, Arthur Cox, who goes about 280.
And when they need these Chargers with their tight ends, with Arthur Cox and Joe Caravella, they give you a lot of different looks running downfield. You look at your defensive back, and you're used to tackling running backs, you're used to tackling wide receivers. Here comes a big 285-pound guy running at you.
They block out a lot of light.
You say, how did this big old offensive lineman get here in the middle of the field?
Report on Grossman, who was injured, as we said in that last series, is okay. He should be back. Hand off to Marion Butts. No gain.
You know, one thing about the Chargers, though, and they had to come into this game with pass protection, I don't think that the Giants have touched Jim McMahon yet, because that's going to be the big thing. How is he going to handle a hit? You know, is that left shoulder going to be able to stay in there? You look at Lawrence Taylor here, number 56, you say, where is he? Well, the Chargers are doing a good job on him, and most of the time have two guys on him.
Aaron Nelson back with McMahon on second down and 10. The handoff is to Nelson. Nothing there. Carl Banks first. He had a big game last week.
Nelson saying, did I have to come here to run this one? I kind of like the way it was in Minnesota, the blocking here. That's the play that they had, that counter tray they had so much success with earlier. See, that time he couldn't follow his off tackle in the hole, and he had to bounce out. When he bounced out, he didn't have a blocker. When you pull your OT, OG, you have to follow OT. If you bounce out OT, there's air ball.
3rd and 12. McMahon got some pressure then, but he still got rid of the ball. And got it to Darren Nelson, a pickup of 9. Not enough for a first down.
That'll be the interesting thing, how he gets up. Here's the guy that's going to come. It's going to be Cox right here. He's going to come to the outside and not get blocked. That's Greg Cox, who's a nickelback. He comes in there, you see him, he's untouched. He unloads. Now, it looked like McMahon took a pretty good shot on that left shoulder as he went down.
It'll be 4th and 3, and they're going for it. Parcells did it last week and was successful 3 out of 3. They're 2 out of 4 on the year.
This has to be a passing down now.
They fake the counter play. McMahon keeps the ball, and he'll get the first down. He was chased out of there by Leonard Marshall. Mark Collins knocked him out of bounds, but the Chargers pick up that first down.
I'll tell you two things about Jim McMahon. One is he's a competitor, but two, and most important, this guy knows how to play the game. You know, there are a lot of guys that play, but guys are just good at playing games. You know what I mean? Like some guys play checkers, they play chess, they play handball, racquetball, anything. Well, that's the type of guy Jim McMahon is.
He not only knows how to play the game, he likes to play the game, and it shows.
And it's still fun to him. I mean, that one's just like he's out in the park someplace.
1st and 10 Chargers. From the Giant 27, they use Spencer. Not much available for him. Meyer and Guyton and Terry Kennard come up to make the stop.
The other thing is going for it on 4th down. It's like you say, Bill Parcells did it 3 times against the Redskins with the Giants last week. And out of that 3 times, they scored 17 points. I think that's the key. Not going for it and getting it, but after you go for it and you get it, then what do you do with it?
It's safe to say, I think, that that's the key to their victory last week over the Redskins. Those 3 4th down plays.
And he said he felt if he didn't do that, they wouldn't beat him.
2nd down. 6. Cornerback blitz. This is Arthur Cox. And Big Arthur gets down inside the 10. Gary Reason stripped him. Pick up a 14.
One thing about Big Arthur, he's a blocker out there. In fact, he has a hard time getting that helmet to fit his head. But when he gets the ball, gets those shoulders squared, he knows where that end zone is. He scored a touchdown last week against Seattle. We were talking to Ed White, his coach, last night, and he said he didn't even know how to celebrate. He said he'd been working all week long on a celebration in the end zone if he scores.
McMahon asking for quiet. Miller split wide to the left. Spencer's the lone setback. Behind Caravello, Spencer. Caravello trying to block down on the nose tackle, the wham block they call it. John Washington made the stop after a gain of 2.
Watch Caravello here, 46. He's the motion guy. Now what? See, they influence, then they're going to trap, kick out on John Washington and run inside him. Caravello has blocked every guy. He's blocked the nose tackle, he's led on the linebackers, and he's also blocked out on the defensive end.
Well, Darren Nelson back in the backfield now, 2nd and goal from the 7. McMahon semi-sprint out and a throw to one of the photographers behind the end zone, and he tried to fair catch it.
Well, he was trying to go left here. He had 2 receivers in the left hand of the end zone, and he couldn't get it there. They were both covered. Good coverage by the Giants, so McMahon just threw it away.
Brings up a 3rd and goal from the 7.
Hey, one thing that they do, watch Lawrence Taylor here. He's being held by Caravello, and I'll tell you, in the last 2 weeks, these teams have really frustrated him. He's becoming a frustrated linebacker. They're doing everything to him.
On 3rd down, an inside handoff for a reverse. Amy Holland was the ball carrier. Terry Kennard made the stop, but there's a flag on the play, a loss of 1.
Well, they missed the play before that when they were holding on Lawrence Taylor. They caught him on this one in illegal motion.
Illegal motion on the motion man. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's a motion man. When the motion man comes across, he can go parallel with the line of scrimmage. He can't go forward. So if he starts forward before the ball snapped, that's illegal motion.
So the Giants don't want to give him another down. They decline the penalty. And Barr will try a field goal. This will be from 26 yards. Archer holding. It is 3-3 with 4:01 left to play in the first half. Gives us a chance right here as this one is tied at 3 apiece to check on some of the other scores. Washington hung on to beat Tampa Bay. Minnesota over Detroit. Miami with 6 seconds to go beat Green Bay. Buffalo shattered the Jets 34-3. Indianapolis 23-12 over Cincinnati. And the Bengals are having problems. Houston shut out Pittsburgh. Philadelphia beat the Raiders 10-7. Chiefs over the Cowboys. And in one that's in progress, the in Anaheim. 10-7 the Saints over the Rams. 14-0 Seattle. Phoenix over Atlanta. Barr set to kick it off. Meggett and Ingram back deep for the Giants. Good kick. It will be Meggett at the 5. And taken down at about the 20-yard line after a return of 16 by Marion Butts. That scoring drive, the Chargers kept it 11 plays, drove it 45 yards. Barr kicked a 26-yard field goal. 3-3 tie in the first half at Jack Murphy Stadium. The man who made the tackle limping off, Marion Butts. First down, Giants at their own 20-yard line. Odessa Turner and Lionel Manuel both split wide to the right. To Anderson. Left side, he's outside the 25 for a pickup of 5 at least. Joe Phillips made the stop.
Yeah, I would think if I were the Giants, I would stay with that and just keep pounding in there on that left side, because although they've had some success inside and they've had some success to the right, it looks like the softest part of the Charger defense is to the Giant left. In fact, that's where they got their load now, their load left.
Anderson over the left side. Slips down again. Joe Phillips on the stop.
Yeah, again, that's the second time that Otis Anderson has slipped in that same place. And I was watching a game last week, the Chargers in Seattle, and they were slipping in that same position. That's where they sodded the infield. Watch him come here. See when he slipped? His left foot, when he was going to make that cut, his left foot just went boom, just like he was walking on ice, and it just slid right out from under him.
3rd and 5. And they have Meggett in the backfield this time, and look out for him. Zeke Mowat makes the reception. A gain of 5. Should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, that's the thing that, again, that Zeke Mowat gives these guys. He comes in on 3rd down, and again, he's another guy who knows how to play the game. He knows exactly where that first down marker is. He's hurting a little, but if Zeke Mowat catches a 3rd down pass, you can bet that it's going to be first down. There's a lot of guys that will leave that thing short.
1st and 10 Giants with the 2-minute warning approaching. They didn't get the play off. So it's 3-3 with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Sims will visit the sideline.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Join us next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time for college football action. And the undefeated Crimson Tide of Alabama take on the 17th ranked Nittany Lions of Penn State. It's next Saturday, live on CBS. First and 10 Giants at their own 31. Pass is batted away. Sims looking left. Bert Grossman knocked it down.
Watch Bert Grossman. He's going to come from the left side of the Giants offense. See, Sims, when he backs out like that, he's looking left. He's trying to throw to the left initially as he comes out. And then Grossman comes right up the middle, gets his right hand up and knocks the ball down.
Makes it 2nd, and they still need 10. Flag on the play. Sims out to the 35. Stopped again by Grossman.
Bert Grossman was the #1 draft choice of the Chargers, but he missed all training camp. So, as Dan Henning said, he's going to be a good player, but he's learning on the move. You know, we're starting him every play. He learns something.
Illegal motion, offense, 2 men moving, penalties declined. Third down.
Here's Bert Grossman. Again, when you miss that training camp, it seems like all #1 draft choices miss training camp now. Then you come in, and boom, they're shooting live bullets right away, and you don't have time to get those fundamentals, the calls, and all that stuff.
Plus, I don't care how much you work out by yourself, you're not in shape. Not in the kind of shape you would be in if you went to training camp.
And the offenses are always looking for you.
Emmanuel. For a World Series update now, let's send you to New York. And here is Brent Musburger.
Pat, let me summarize at a news conference that is still going on. Fay Vincent, the commissioner of baseball, has announced that the World Series will be resumed in San Francisco, but not on Tuesday as planned. Game 3 will be played Friday night in Candlestick, 4 on Saturday, if necessary 5 on Sunday. They will take a day off on Monday and then go back to Oakland if necessary. Again, the World Series to resume, but Game 3 has been put off till Friday night at Candlestick. Let's send you back to Pat and John.
And Phil Simms just gave it to Dave Meggett on a draw play. And he struggled for 3 yards, and maybe he has another Giant first down. They have 2 timeouts left, by the way. And we're down to 50 seconds left in the first half. Simms heading deep for Lionel Manuel, who got tangled up with Elvis Patterson, the former Giant.
Yeah, that's who they were going to work on. It was interesting when Elvis Patterson played for the Giants. Bill Parcells nicknamed him Toast, as is getting burnt all the time. And now Elvis Patterson is here. He's not starting here. He's a nickel back, and he still goes by the nickname Toast. But he said it's not toast like getting beat. It's toast like toast to the town.
2nd and 10. Chargers in their prevent package. This is Meggett. Meggett hammers down to about the 34-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Sam Seal knocked him out of bounds.
Meggett got a good block by his left guard, William Roberts. Big number 66 got out there in front of him, and he's a guy who buys Meggett about 10 yards. Watch 66. He's the left guard there. You see him block, block, block. Now he goes down the line. Now watch the block right there. You see, that is the block that sprung Meggett to the outside and gave him 10 more.
First down, Giants at the Charger 35. Gets it to Lee Roussan. And the struggle goes on as he is hit first by Lester Lyle. 22 seconds remain. Timeout, Giants. 6-yard gain.
In on the stop. 40 seconds. Lester Lyles. With the reception.
You know this.
Lyles with the tackle.
Well, a reminder at the half, the NFL Today, Brent Nerve with scores and highlights from around the league. This Charger defense started off the first 2 games of the regular season. They gave up 74 points. In the last 4 games, they've given up only 54, I guess.
Well, the Charger defense is the strength of the team, and when Dan Henning came here this year, he had one job. He had to build the offense. He started with doing a job at quarterback. He brought in Dave Archer, was a free agent, drafted Billy Joe Tolliver, and then he went and traded for Jim McMahon. So that was the start of his rebuilding his offense. He thought the defense was pretty good.
Lee Roussan in the backfield with Simms as the Chargers threaten the blitz. Simms to Lionel Manuel inside the 15.
Maybe Toast is still Toast is getting burned, not Toast to the town. Well, that was Elvis Patterson's man. Simms looked for him all the way. That's the matchup he wanted.
The Giants hustle. up to the line of scrimmage, and then it looked like they would not be able to get a play off, so they used their last timeout.
Watch Lionel Manuel. He's coming up, gives a little head fake to the outside, moves in. Sims had time. He had a good blitz pickup. You'll see the protection here. Watch Billy Ray Smith, 54, come up the middle. Boom, he gets picked off right there. Then that gives Sims this lane to Lionel Manuel. Hey, that giant does, they do a good job. Watch how they get the pickup here, and then they just kind of form a wall around Sims. And then that gives him that lane to throw to Manuel.
That pickup on Billy Ray Smith was by Roussan. 7 seconds remain in the first half. They're going to try to run another play. They got to put it in the end zone.
Got to throw to the end zone. Touchdown.
But a flag on the play. Going to be holding against the Giants.
Holding, number 76 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Sims just threw his helmet down and half the insides came out.
Maybe those are the plays.
Oh, I'll tell you, it could be anything. It's going to be on the left tackle, 76 at the top of the screen, Jumbo Elliott. You see, again, it's that inside move.
Yep.
He did the same thing last week against Dexter Manley. When you put that right foot back, you give him the lane. Jumbo can complain about that. 1, that was holding. 2, it was poor technique. And 3, your shirt tail's hanging out.
That's the first penalty against the Giants today. Allegre will try from 40 yards.
That was a big play for the Chargers.
Sure was. That was good. As time runs out in the first half, that's the end of the first half. With the score, the Giants 6, San Diego Chargers 3.
Well, just minutes ago, the Commissioner of Baseball, Fay Vincent, appeared at a news conference with Art Agnos, the mayor of San Francisco, and he made this announcement about the resumption of the series.
We have agreed, he and I, that baseball should resume with enthusiasm at Candlestick Park this coming week. But we've also agreed that Tuesday was too ambitious. And so with his support and enthusiasm, though he'll speak to that in a minute, I'd like to announce that we are going to play at Candlestick starting Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, and we will go to Oakland, if necessary, Tuesday and Wednesday.
And as we understand it, Saturday and Sunday will also be night games, Sunday if necessary. Now let's check in live with Pat O'Brien. Pat, how did they make this decision to wait now until Friday night?
Brent, the news conference is still going on in front of me here, and Mayor Art Agnos and the commissioner said together that they needed an ironclad assurance that Candlestick Park would withstand another earthquake like the one that they had on Tuesday. And also, as was reported earlier, the fact that they have to test the traffic situation here in the city of San Francisco, and they will test that tomorrow and Tuesday and through the rest of the week. And of course, other major consideration also is law enforcement needs. And by Friday, the mayor assures us that he'll be needing less law enforcement in other parts of the city so they can turn their attention to the World Series.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. So again, the World Series, Game 3 to be played on Friday night in Candlestick Park, and 4 on Saturday night there too, unless, of course, there's any more difficulty found with Candlestick Park. Now, switching back to the National Football League today and some of the games that were concluded earlier. Washington with a big win over Tampa Bay. 32-28 was the final in that game. Testaverde with 3 touchdown passes in the 4th. Minnesota all over Detroit 27. I'm going to bring in Irv Cross. Irv, you have said since the trade was made that you thought Herschel Walker would take the Vikes to the Super Bowl.
It's really very simple, Brent. You know, the formula for winning a Super Bowl has always been a top defense. The Vikings have the #1 defense in pro football. They have 2 great experienced quarterbacks in Kramer and Wilson. And now with Herschel Walker, Walker, they have one of the leading running backs in football, so they have a great running game. That means you win the Super Bowl.
Or they've got another newcomer by the name of Mike Merriweather. He had a sack, an interception, caused 2 fumbles, and recovered 1, too. Miami, at the buzzer, pulls one out on Green Bay, 23-20 the final there. Buffalo runs its record now to 5-2, rather handily over the Jets, 34-3 the final there. Indianapolis over Cincinnati, and you have to wonder now about the Bengals. They've lost 2 in a row at home, and they have slipped to 4-3. Houston shutting out Pittsburgh, and the Steelers struggling on the road without Bubby Bristler in that one. Philadelphia over the Los Angeles Raiders. This was a tough defensive game. 10-7 was the final there. Bo Jackson, 20 carries, 79 yards for the Raiders in that game. Kansas City got 171 yards and 2 touchdowns out of Christian Okoye. But as you can see, the Cowboys didn't quit in this game, and they stayed closer than a lot of folks expected. And it was only an 8-point difference, 36-28. The Giants and San Diego, of course, are underway. You're watching this game at the half, a battle of the field goals. New Orleans and Los Angeles. And this was a great spot for the Saints. The Rams were traveling back cross-country after a tough Monday night loss. The Saints with a very good defense, better than you would expect looking at their 1-loss record, and they're up 16-7 there. New England and San Francisco, they are tied at 10 there in the second quarter. Of course, they're playing down at Stanford and Palo Alto in that game. Seattle all over Denver right now. It is 14-0, and Denver always struggles up at the Kingdome in Seattle. Atlanta and Phoenix, Earl Farrell with a pair of touchdowns. It's 21-3, and we will continue right after these messages from your local stations. Welcome back to our New York studios. You know, one sure way to generate a little football controversy is to launch a debate on who's the best quarterback in the NFL. Well, Irv Cross has taken this question one step further.
In the NFL, a team can only go as far as its quarterback can take it. And this year's crop of field generals is among the finest ever assembled. While each shines in his own special way, we wonder what it would be like if we could create the perfect quarterback. The Robo QB. Since it's a passing game, we'll start with a strong arm, Dan Marino's. Playing like a man with a porpoise, Dolphin Dan dazzles defenders with deadly downfield darts with the quickest release since Joe Namath. Even collies can see that Marino is a top gun in the league.
I think if you wanted to go with an accurate arm, you'd like a guy like Marino.
Well, Randall, don't be too jealous. The good news is that the rest of the fellows covet your legs. And why not? If they could run like you can, they wouldn't have to hide. In fact, when it comes to daring feat, you win head over heels.
Probably Randall Cunningham's legs and head. I'd use my own head. I'd want to look like myself.
Well, we could call it Kramer versus Kramer, but hey, sorry, Tommy. Our cerebral selection is Joe Montana. He can beat you every which way, on the ground and in the air. Down the stretch, the proof is in the pudding. In this case, the rice pudding. Yes, sir, the thinking man's quarterback.
I think the one thing that helps you is being able to have quick release, but more importantly probably in that is being able to make the read quick and know where you're going with the ball.
But there's more to Robo QB than mere brains and brawn. Phil Simms would provide the heart. Time after time, Simms takes a licking but keeps on flicking. He has made a career of being down but not out, and his opponents have certainly gotten their fill of his game-winning heroics. We'll let Simms be our designated gut checker. In this game, you've got to have heart, and we'll take Simms. Then there are the intangibles. Some say John Elway is close to being a Robo QB, but poise is what sets him apart. Even when he's improvising, he has the presence of mind to direct his blockers downfield, and he can calculate on the run the best path to pay dirt. The other intangible is leadership. We'll give the nod to Boomer Esiason. When the Bengals southpaw takes control, his teammates snap into line. But every quarterback needs a context in which to operate. Detroit's silver stretch is an offense conceived of mouse and men. And then there are those who prefer to run and shoot on their own.
I'm not going to take any parts from anybody. I mean, if you're going to build the one all-time quarterback, I don't know. That's hard to say, but I just have to concentrate on myself right now.
Irv, who's your best of all time? Best head?
Well, you know, there have been great quarterbacks in the National Football League. We all know that. But I would take Norm Van Brocklin for the all-time best head in pro football.
Yeah, you couldn't go wrong with him. And right now, let's send you back to the stadium in a game you're watching here on CBS.
Now, if they can catch the football,
Halftime at Jack Murphy Stadium, the Giants and the Chargers The Giants lead at 6-3. No touchdowns as yet, but they've had some chances, John.
Well, and I think that's what has really helped the Chargers and hurt the Giants. If you look here, remember the first drive, they had a perfect drive. They get down here. Phil Simms could have ran this one in. He didn't. Maurice Carthon should have caught it. So there is one that they left. They had to settle for a field goal. They lost 4. Here's another one right at the end of the half. Boom, everything looks good. Mark Bavaro wide open in the end zone. He catches the ball for a touchdown, but no, it's brought back because of a penalty. Now watch, here's Jumbo Elliott here. Now, when you have that right foot and you're the left tackle, that foot has to stay there. You see now, he starts back. Now right there, you see when he opens that right foot there? That gives Leslie O'Neal the inside lane. Then when he gets that inside lane, all Jumbo Elliott can do is hold him. And that didn't even help. So there is 8 points the Giants left on the field.
And CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this message and a word from your local station. The Giants 6, San Diego 3. On a day that started out back just before the game, it was a very light rain. It was overcast, but now it's just about perfect.
I don't think as they watch Jim McMahon there and Phil Simms, I know Phil Simms is disappointed in that he had those 2 touchdowns. But look, he was 10 out of 20, 119 yards, 1 interception. He has no touchdowns, but really, he did throw 2 of them. One was called back because of the penalty, and the other one was dropped by Carthon. McMahon would see a 7 of 12. And I think that's the type of half that the Chargers wanted. To score 6-3 in favor of the Giants, but I think that score and that type of play really favors the Chargers.
Number 26 is Darrell Usher. He's back to return the kickoff with Jamie Holland when Allegre is ready, and he has a ball to kick. Yeah, I think I agree with you. The Chargers did just about what they thought they had to do. Keep it close. Don't have to play a lot of catch-up.
Right, and then try and take the game into the second half, generally, specifically into the 4th quarter. Come up with a big play and win it.
It's going to be Usher at the 2-yard line. The Giants down in a hurry, fumble. Chargers get it back as Marion Butts falls on top of it.
This is what McMahon did by distance. You can see in the first half. 3 for 3. The bad news about that under 5 yards, they were all 3rd downs and they didn't get a first. 1 for 4 and 2 for 3 between 11 and 20, and only 1 for 2 over 20 yards. So he is moving the ball up and down the field a little more than he normally does. Usually they either throw real short or real long.
I think James Fitzpatrick, the left tackle, starting his first game there, has done a good job.
He has, and he's had the help of his tight end.
Spencer. Byron Guyton up to make the hit at the line of scrimmage. He got 1.
There's Renee Thompson, number 21. Watch him, Pat, on the kickoff. This is how you get ready to cover a kickoff. First of all, you have to be a little half goofy to want to do it, and then you have to be certified goofy to be good at it. And Renee Thompson is one of the best cover guys, if not the best cover guy the Giants have. When you go through a ritual like that, then you have to have some hits at the end of it.
When you hit yourself in the head enough times, I guess that does get you psyched up. 2nd and 9. Blitz coming. McMahon gets it outside for Jamie Holland. Holland will have a Charger first down. Perry Williams was the cover man, but a gain of 17.
I think Bill Parcells had that talk with Perry Williams. I think he affected him too much. Maybe he scared him a little, because Perry Williams is playing too soft over on that corner on first down. Anthony Miller caught one in the first half where he wasn't near him, and Jamie Holland in this half.
1st and 10, San Diego. Their own 31. Spencer goes left and goes for a yard. Perry Williams up tight that time to make the stop. Of course, there was no receiver out there with him either.
Of course, when they watch Lawrence Taylor here, he's going to come knifing to the inside. The Chargers haven't decided to go much against him. Watch him. Perry Williams comes from the top. Taylor takes that inside, takes on that guard, bounces that thing out into Perry Williams. That's one of the reasons the Chargers haven't run to the left side much.
2nd and 9, Darren Nelson joins McMahon in the offensive unit. Passes to Nelson, hit by Pepper Johnson just as soon as he caught it. A gain of 5.
Darren Nelson. The tackle by number 52.
Yeah, we look at what the Chargers did running in the first half. Look, they only ran to the left 2 times for 3 yards, up the middle for 24, and to their right for 20. So you wonder the effect that a Lawrence Taylor has, where he lines up, they ain't coming.
You don't say his name that much in a situation like that, but he's still making a contribution.
The ones that say his name are the opponents and the parents of the opponents.
So true. 3rd and 4. Just 2 defensive linemen this time. McMahon has it picked off. Sheldon White. I beg your pardon, it was Greg. Oh, Sheldon White was right the first time.
Sheldon White had great coverage on that one. That's the thing that a defensive back always worries about, a running quarterback. Because a running quarterback means that the receiver gets more time to work. The receiver gets more time to work, the more time you have to cover. Sheldon White he was working his zone. As the receiver started to work back, Sheldon White worked back in front of him.
Pass was intended for Wayne Walker. The Giants take over at the Charger 48. Hawthorne goes in motion. The give is to Otis Anderson. To the 45, a gain of 3. Martin Bayless came up to make the stop.
You know, the Giants had a load left, and they ran middle that time. And you'll see that's what they're doing. They put the load over there. They only ran there 4 times. They want the defense to overextend. Then they'll run up the middle for 27 or right to the 13. When they put that over, if they adjust to it, then they have to leave somewhere.
2nd and 7. Sims gets it out to Anderson. He gets to the 40. Figaro made the stop. Jim McMahon discussing things with his receivers.
I think Holland was coming back, or he was saying Walker was coming back, whoever it was, and McMahon was trying to lead him back, but Sheldon White beat them all back.
3rd and 1. Gets to Terry. I don't know. It's going to be close. Billy Ray Smith led the defense.
Well, and Bill Parcells is staying, and he's saying stay out there. So what he's saying, if it's not a first down, we're going to go for it again on 4th down, guys. And it is 4th down again, and they are going for it. He said last week he was 3 for 3, and those 3 conversions turned into 17 points.
And a victory. 4th and short. It's Anderson and Carthon again behind Sims. Anderson. First down and more. A gain of 4. Gary Plummer tripped him.
I tell you that, you know, you talk about extremes of emotions. That's it for a coach. One is when you call it, that takes a lot of guts, and you go to, are we going to make it? Are we? Right now, you don't know. Then you see the hole, and you go, whew, we did it again.
He's been doing a lot of hooing lately.
Boy, that'll tighten up the belt when you make those calls.
1st and 10 at the Charger 35. Sims to Bavaro in the middle. Vince Glenn and Plummer hit him.
You can't do that against Mark Bavaro. You can't not hit him coming off the line and then not converge on him when he's there in the middle.
Bavaro's hurt. Moat is also hurt. Good that they have 3 tight ends.
I think Bavaro took a shot from the side. He caught that ball, and I think he got a shot on the knee from the side.
Howard Cross is checked in, along with Moat, who's playing limping.
In fact, we'll look at it again. You see, it's his right leg is the one that he was dragging and goes out. Now watch right here. See, he has it planted, and he gets hit on the inside of the knee as he was trying to make a cut on it. That's how they get it. When that foot is planted, you can see he had the right foot planted, and then the guy came from the inside. Whew.
And nothing gives when you're hit like that, except the knee. It has to. This is Tillman replacing Anderson. Picked up a yard, stopped by Les Miller.
34, Lewis Tillman. Tackle number 69.
Navarro's really in pain.
That is a big loss. I mean, this guy is one of the top tight ends in the league, one of the top players of the Giants, and he's an important part of the heart of this offensive team.
2nd and 9. Sims gets it to Odessa Turner at the 15. Gil Bird. Tackle Odessa's first catch of the day.
Bill Parcells, in one ear he's trying to get a touchdown here, in the other ear he's trying to get information on how Mark Bavaro is. Hey, that's a part of coaching that you can't control and bothers you the most.
Information on Mark Bavaro right now doesn't look encouraging.
No, they have him outside there in a stretcher.
Sims. Odessa Turner inside the 5, stopped by Seal. It'll be 1st and goal.
Well, this is the 3rd time the Giants have been in this position. The first one we mentioned, Carthon dropped in the end zone for a touchdown. Bavaro got a touchdown and a penalty, and this is the 3rd time today they've been down in here. I would bet on this one they're going to get it in.
It'll be 1st and goal just inside the 5. Closer to the 4.
Of course, this is where they missed Bavaro now. They wanted to go to that 3 tight end formation, I'm sure.
Hand off Anderson. Touchdown.
Otis Anderson, the ball carrier. 4 yards, the Giants touchdown.
That was a great run, Pat. It's only a 4-yard run, but the way that he hit and he spun and he hit and he moved those feet and did the things that he had to do, that was some run.
That last lunge got him in. Parcells over checking on Bavaro.
Yeah, those were the 2 concerns he had. One was Mark Bavaro, one of his best players, and the other one was getting a score. And I would think Mark Bavaro would be at the top of the list. His concern for Bavaro. Bill Parcells is still over there.
Allegre will attempt the extra point. Hofstetter holding. And the extra point is good. And the Giant lead is now 10 points, 13-3.
As I said, this is only 4 yards, but what a 4 yards it is.
Look at this last lunge right here. That's what got the 6 points. The Giants scoring drive, 9 plays, 48 yards. They kept the ball 5 minutes, 21 seconds. And Anderson scored the touchdown to give them a 10-point lead after Allegre's extra point. The touchdown run is a honey. kick with that great speed. He just showed you some of it.
Yeah, they have that fastest man in the NFL, and he got in the contest, and he was only beaten by one guy. That was Darrell Green. In fact, he got to the final against Darrell Green.
The word on Bavaro is that he has a sprained knee. They're going to put some ice on it, and they still have hopes that he might play some more this afternoon.
I'll tell you, that's good news. The fact that he's on the bench and they're keeping him out there, I think, is great news.
Here's McMahon. Pass complete to Jamie Holland for a pickup of 12. Mark Collins, the tackler.
Well, Mark Collins was out there complaining. I'll guarantee you what he's complaining about is that Holland pushed off. Corners, you know, they get blamed for holding. They get blamed for pass interference all the time. And the thing that they hate is when they have good position and coverage and a receiver pushes them out of that position.
Miller is the wide receiver. You can just see his feet at the top of your picture. He's the only man split. That's Spencer. Hit by Pepper Johnson, who tripped him up.
He's tripped up by number 52.
I'll tell you, they get the penetration up there on the left-hand side. That's the thing that you have to get away from. You have to control the line of scrimmage. Watch Pepper Johnson come from the inside. Lawrence Taylor was out there, too. Lawrence Taylor was the first penetration. Pepper Johnson the second, and that made the back cut back into the whole flow.
And it brings up a 2nd and 9. Comes the blitz. McMahon reads it. Got it out to Darren Nelson. Nelson unloads. They're taking now, the word is they're going to take Bavaro inside to take a closer look. But the Chargers get 24 yards as McMahon read the blitz.
Well, you know, there's Darren Nelson, the only guy in the backfield coming out. Jim McMahon was saying last night, he said it's nice to get Darren Nelson. He said he's only been here a couple days, but at least on a passing down, I have an experienced guy back there, and I think he can give us some big plays today.
Dan Henning described him yesterday as, we asked about him, he said, well, the best I can tell you is he's just a pro. Spencer to about the 18, a gain of 1, tripped up by Kennard. That'll get it down to about the Giant 18. 4.5 minutes left, third quarter.
Dan Henning was talking about Darren Nelson. He said he's also smart. They got him. He came in, and he was here like a half hour, took a physical, got his uniform, met with a coach for 15 minutes, went out, was in 25 plays, and only made 1 mistake.
2nd down. Fake is to Spencer. The pass is to Miller. Gain of 5, stopped by Reason.
And that's one thing about the Giants, and the reason that they never seem to get fooled on defense, and they always play those zones, so you're not going to get them in a lot of mismatches. And when you complete one, they always have a lot of guys around the ball. Bill Parcells didn't want the Chargers to come back with this kind of drive after they just got their first touchdown.
3rd down at the 12. They need 4 for a first down. But couldn't get the feet down. He made a great effort.
McMahon was trying to go first for Darren Nelson to the left. You see, he was looking to the left, couldn't find him. Now he scrambles out to the right, sees Wayne Walker in the back, throws that up there pretty good, Again, both feet have to be in. I think we ought to take a look at that one again. See, because that's not the line there. See, it's that first line. Yeah, that is. I guess it's the first white you see is the San Diego, and then the second white is the goal line.
The blue part is the back of the end zone.
Yeah, the blue part, but see the first white there is he's in the San Diego part. So he's in there. You see he goes up and he's in. Now the next white line is the back line. We see that foot. I don't know if that right foot was out or not.
You could see it was from this angle. It was right on it.
I guess it was right on the line.
It was.
Then. Well, that's about as close as you can get.
Well, Walker was wide open. There was nobody else even in the picture.
Well, that's the thing. That, again, is because of the scramble. McMahon was looking to the left to Darren Nelson, and then he came back on the scramble.
I think they are reviewing this.
Yeah, they're looking at the same things that we saw. Again, it's the same rules as the sideline would be. You can see that right foot comes down on the line, so that has to be out.
The field goal team for the Chargers already in. Chris Barr.
After further review by the replay officials, the play stands 4th down.
Field goal attempt coming up from Chris Barr with Archer holding. And it's right down the middle. So the Chargers make it a little bit closer with 3:07 left in the third quarter. The Chargers scoring drive, 7 plays, 43 yards. Barr kicked a 30-yard field goal. Don't forget to join us next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time for college football action. The undefeated Crimson Tide of Alabama against Penn State. Mark Ingram steals the kickoff. Flag comes flying. Ingram goes down at about the 24. Johnny Thomas made the stop. 19-yard return by Ingram. Illegal block.
Illegal block, number 34 of the receiving team, 1st down.
Right there, the initial block was good. The second block was good. I think that's what the official saw right there. I think that was a legal block. The official has to see the whole thing. He started in front and just maintained contact.
You certainly have to give him credit for sticking with it.
What you teach him.
Pitch back to Anderson. There's nothing there. He has hit it at the 20-yard line, a gain of 2 perhaps. Joe Phillips. Earlier scores. These are all finals. Washington over Tampa Bay. Minnesota defense had 8 more sacks today. What a year Keith Millard is having. Marino cut Green Bay apart, 2nd and 8 here. Sims quickly outside to Moat. He's not running right either.
Hey, he injured that ankle early in the game in the first quarter, and then he played with it as the 2nd or 3rd tight end, caught some big passes. Then when Mark Bavaro went down, he has to take full duty. Bill Parcells always called him his lunch pail guy, his blue-collar guy, and Zeke Mowat's proven that today.
Even though he's not 100%.
But the other guy is in the locker room.
And the other guy's a rookie. Here comes the blitz. Sims just does get it away. And he gets it away complete. But an outstanding catch by Lionel Manuel. Elvis Patterson was with him.
You look at this and you watch Phil Simms here and you wonder how can you stay in there and hold it and hold it and hold it and just throw it in the last moment and get hit like that. I don't care. I mean, they talk about toughness. They talk about nose tackles, linebackers, linemen. I'll take this guy. I mean, that to me is the definition of toughness.
You remember how he described the pass rush earlier in the year, an avalanche? That's what that was. First down, Giants at their own 26. Sims will throw it on first down. And down to Zeke Mowat again. Gary Plummer on the stop.
You know, quarterbacks probably get too much credit. When they win, they probably take too much abuse when they lose, but through it all, they have to be tough guys.
By the way, in that New England-San Francisco game, which is being played in Stanford Stadium, Joe Montana has been injured. Injury to his left knee, carried from the field on a stretcher. Replaced by Steve Young. Sims has completed 12 straight passes. Ingram's on the wrong side of the field. And off Anderson. Flag on the play.
Well, Ingram lined up in the wrong formation. He was a weak side, and he didn't get up on the line of scrimmage. That made the tackle eligible, so that's going to be a double dipper against Ingram. Yeah, that's what he did. See, he was lined up in the wrong side. Then when he went on the right side, he didn't get on the line of scrimmage. That's the first gum-chewing referee
Illegal
I've
formation, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
That's Dale Hammer, one of the newer referees in the NFL. Odessa Turner split wide to the left. They go with a split back offense. They really do this. Complete to Turner. Flag on the play.
That's going to be a holding penalty against the Giants to bring that one back. Bill Sims knew it immediately after he threw it.
That'll cancel a 13-yard gain. You know what? Dan Henning was right about this Charger defense. They'll hang with you.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 60, the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's a right guard, Eric Moore, number 60. Right in the middle of the screen there. What they're saying is he put his right hand to the face of the pass rusher. Again, you know, sometimes you go for a shoulder pad and you end up with a helmet.
2nd and 19. Ball back at the 16. Sims is sacked. Lee Williams.
Lee Williams is right here. Now he's going to come. He starts in the outside. Then he's going to come back inside and right up in front of Sims. Now Sims couldn't step up. And when he couldn't step up, then he had to just stand there and take the sack from Lee Williams.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Giants 13, the Chargers 6. Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Bright sunny day now. Pat Summerall with John Madden. We've got one more quarter to go. Giants 13, San Diego 6. Here the numbers on Phil Simms. 11 hurries. Third down and 25 to go. 26 make it. Simms just has to throw it away as they chased him out of the end zone. Vincey Glenn on a blitz. And Landeta will come on to punt it.
Yeah, they did that. That's the second time they brought the safety Glenn that time. The time before they brought Martin Bayless, the strong safety, when they got the sack. So they got him backed up, and they were bringing the whole thing at Simms.
Landeta will punt out of the end zone. Wayne Walker back at midfield for San Diego. And they should get the ball in pretty good shape.
I would think they're going to come on a block. The Chargers are. But they started too soon.
Flag on the play.
They were up there coming on the block, but they jumped.
Ball start. Number 69 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Well, it was the Giants that caused him to jump. What they say is that 69 moved.
It's
That's
the center. Yeah.
That he moved before he snapped it. But again, they're putting the pressure. The Chargers are coming on a block again.
The snapper is Frank Winters. And now Landeta's got to be careful not to step on that white line right behind him.
This is a true test of a punter here.
Line drive, good kick. Walker's got a blocker. If he had gone on the outside, he could have taken advantage of that blocker. Adrian White, 48-yard punt by Landeta. Adrian White made the tackle. Doubleheader next Sunday here on CBS. Starts with the NFL today at 12:30. Rams go to Chicago. That's where John Madden and I will be. Philadelphia visits Denver. San Francisco against the Jets. The NFL today with that cast at 12:30. I don't know where that cast is performing.
Looks like they're a couple sandwiches short of a picnic on that deal. Talking about the Rams, they might be shell-shocked seeing them in Chicago next week. After what happened to them Monday night against Buffalo, then they played New Orleans at home. They're always tough. Here's a guy who's having a tough time today. Thus far, he has no tackles, 2 assists. But again, that's part of the offense, part of the blocking, part of staying away from him. Everyone is very, very conscious of LT.
Where he's located. Quick pass. It's called an incompletion. Arthur Cox was the target. And he's a pretty good target.
It looks like Lionel Manuel there, that they did something to his shoulders, took his shoulder pads off. Now they're going to harness him back up. Of course, the one that they have to be most worried and concerned about is Mark Bavaro, who is still in the locker room.
They said earlier that he might be back in action, but they said later, we better go take a closer look.
Yeah, I think that's more than something you come back that quickly.
Draw play to Darren Nelson. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Eric Howard.
Yeah, that's a nose tackle. Eric Howard, that's his job. What do they tell those big old nose tackles? You let LT rush, and you let Banks rush, and you let all these guys, and you big number 74 stay at home. See 74 right in the middle of the screen? Just takes on blocks, boom. You stay at home for the draw.
3rd and 9. Nelson behind McMahon. Walker goes in motion. They flush him out of the pocket. Intended for Nelson, who couldn't hang on. Pepper Johnson right with him. The Chargers got it in good shape, but can't do anything with it.
Darren Nelson is upset because he sneaked a peek. He took a look. Pepper Johnson was coming, but it was still too short anyway. McMahon has completed 3 passes on 3rd down. They were all short of 1st down. This one would have been that way too. Watches the ball come. He turns over his right shoulder and takes a look at Johnson, drops the ball.
Lessick back to punt it. Low snap. Megan signals fair catch and makes it at the 13. The Giants will start from there after a 30-yard punt. We'll return to San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium after this message from your local station. Back at Jack Murphy Stadium at Summerall, John Madden. Giants have the ball at their own 13. 1st and 10. Sims to throw it. Caught by Odessa Turner. Sam Seal, the defender.
That's the thing that Sims had to do. He had 12 in a row, missed his last one. But remember the last time that the Giants were down here, the Chargers really had that avalanche pass rush coming at him. I think Sims had to come back on 1st down and throw and prove that he can get his protection back and still hit one.
Anderson outside the 30. Picked up 6 yards on that quick draw. He's been getting a lot of work lately.
I know, a lot more than he thought. He already has 20 carries. I think somewhere Bill Parcells about a month ago told him, oh, no, it'll be about 10, 12, 15 times you'll carry the ball.
Second and 4. Maurice Carthon. Straight ahead, one of his rare carries, picked up 3 yards.
Bill Parcells wanted to get Megan in there a little for Anderson, and also Lewis Tillman, a rookie, get him in there and kind of give Otis Anderson a break. But Otis has been running so well and playing so well that you don't want to give him a break, especially with 2 rookies.
Hard to get him out of there. 3rd and 1. Ball's at the 36-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants don't make it so they can try another 4th down.
Yeah.
I think they're better 4th down and short now, 3rd and short.
Flag on the play as Anderson is cut down. He had close to 1st down yardage by Gary Plummer. Chargers were offside.
Yeah, that gives them a free 1st down. That's what a veteran quarterback will do. You know, as you get up there on short yardage and you give them that what they call hard count.
Offside, number 22, the defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Then you try and get him to jump. Of course, the guy who was offside on that one was Gil Bird, who's the corner. But that's what you like to do. Get up there in that short yardage, change the count, give them a hard count. And the Charger defense has been very, very susceptible to that this year.
Especially in the 4th quarter. Here's Sims throwing. Odessa Turner, complete again. Seal. 1st down, Giants.
You know, poor Sam Seal. He used to play for the Rays. He's a good cover guy. And you always look at him, and Sammy Seal is always on the guy, but the other guy usually ends up with the ball. I mean, look, that's cover. He's there. He's there. Sam Seal is always close, but can't get that little extra half step. I think that's why guys keep working on him.
There are a couple of defensive backs around the league like that. The guy with the Redskins.
Well, Davis, yeah, Brian Davis. He's going through that. He can cover and get there, but the other guy gets the ball.
Sims gives to Anderson, running hard. Down to the 41. He picked up 8 tough ones. Plummer and Figueroa.
You know, the thing Again, you know, we always talk about Otis Anderson and the way that he can get into the hole. Now watch. Right now he's in the hole. You see how he makes cuts in the hole? A lot of guys will run, make a cut, and run through a hole. Otis will run into a hole and then make cuts while he's in the hole.
And he's one of the few that can do that and still do it with power.
Have you ever seen the legs on that guy?
Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
That's Parkin. No gain. Plummer up to make the stop.
Yeah, Gary Plummer, who just made that tackle, is an interesting guy. He's been a walk-on all his life. He walked on in junior college, made the team. Walked on at Cal, made the team. Walked on in the USFL, made the team. Walked on here with the Chargers and made the team. Of course, the defensive coordinator, 3 of those teams, was the same guy, Ron Lynn.
And Henning simply said he was an overachiever.
An inside linebacker in a 3-man line is a good position for an overachiever.
Sims gets on the draw play to Anderson. He is close to first down. Vincie Glenn made the initial hit. He got 3. Sims says it's a first. They may have to measure this one.
I think this is a drive that the Giants feel they can win the game on.
First down.
And if they got that 13-6 lead, and what they're trying to do is get the lead. You know, and get that one more touchdown. You watch the draw here. You see they bring it back, hand it to him in a delay. Now watch this cut here. He comes to the outside, makes a cut. Now he feels he can outrun it. Now he's going to turn it up. Now he has another cut right there. See, right there, make that cut back to the inside. Hey, he makes about 3 or 4 cuts on every play.
First down at the 39. Anderson again. Shot by Joe Phillips. Pickup of 3.
Sure, what Phil Sims is thinking here, and Bill Parcells, Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator, if we can take our time, slow everything down, get a touchdown here, that'll be the end of the game.
2nd and 7.
Looks like Vincie Glenn is hurting a little bit there. He's a free safety. Only weighs about 180 pounds. And he's had to make a lot of hits today.
Tillman has replaced Anderson. Sims just can't get rid of it. Intended for Mark Ingram, way over his head. You can count that as another hurry for Sims.
I'm surprised that he threw on this down. I'm surprised that they just didn't keep pounding the ball away. See, he just got the pressure up the middle, and he went to step again, and there was 99, Lee Williams, right at his feet. Lee Williams has been putting a lot of pressure on Sims today.
Familiar face. Jim McMahon. 3rd and 7.
Looks like he's having a gum chewing contest with a referee.
Pass is pulled down by Odessa Turner. Fine catch. Gain of 9. Stopped by Roy Bennett, but another first down for the Giants.
Odessa Turner's been bothered by a bad arch the last couple of weeks, but he looks like in this second half here that he's starting to come back in. Roy Bennett was covering him. He also grabbed a hold of his jersey, and Odessa Turner, he's a big guy. I mean, he weighed 205, 210 pounds. He just broke right away from Bennett. You hear that crowd noise on that first down?
Yeah.
I think there's as many Giant fans here in San Diego as there are Charger fans.
And they're all in our hotel. Well, we were in their hotel. Sims has Ingram. Elite Roussan, I beg your pardon. Inside the 5.
That's the other guy that he can get out of there. He has Anderson coming out, Roussan, he has Tillman, he has Meggett. See, Lee Roussan was just lined up as a left halfback. It's a play fake. Sims just watches Roussan all the way. He gets down to the 5-yard line. That's the thing that Bill Parcells wants to do with that halfback position. Instead of using Otis Anderson for the whole game, use 3 or 4 different guys playing different roles.
First and goal from the 4. Anderson barrels into the end zone. His second 4-yard touchdown burst of the day.
Listen to this crowd.
The NFL's oldest starting running back. Allegre to try the extra point. Flag on the play before anything gets started. Giants lead now 19-6.
Ball start. Number 69.
Let's watch that touchdown again. Here you see again, he's going to take it up. He gets a good block there. He has a good lead right here. Now when he gets that, he's going to cut off it. You see, you just get right in the hip pocket of your offensive lineman. And when he makes contact, boom, you just slash right against it. Then you put the ball right there. One more lunge into the end zone.
He's made a couple of runs to score. Neither one of them long, both in fact 4 yards, but both of them good runs.
And that first one that he got, he went in straight, then he was turned sideways, then he was turned backwards, and then he did a flip. He did about every kind of move that you can make. Bill Parcells just went over there, hit him on the leg, and I'm sure he told him, nice job.
Now, the extra point attempt will come from 5 yards further back. Still good. Anderson, 23 carries for 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quite a day for O.J.
This NFL game summary is sponsored by Levi's 506 jeans. Cut a little fuller in the thigh for extra comfort.
To summarize, Mark Bavaro injured his knee, sprained his left knee. He's in the locker room still. Anderson has scored 2 touchdowns, carried the ball 23 times, and that was one heck of a drive right there.
I think that was a drive that the Giants needed, that 12-play drive. Otis Anderson getting in the 7 at the end. And I think that was the one that put the victory here for the Giants, and that was a drive that beat the Chargers.
20-6 to score. Miller. Greg Jackson knocked him out of bounds. 12 plays, 87 yards that drive was, and just as important, 7 minutes and 13 seconds they kept it.
Hey, I don't know about this. We didn't tell Bill Parcells about this last night, but look, every time the Giants have started with 5-1 start, they have gone to the championship that year.
I played in 2 of those, on 2 of those teams.
And when you were 5-1, you didn't know you were going to the championship, did you?
Sure didn't.
There was still a lot of work to be done, and I'm sure when the Giants hear or see, or if they know that, that's what they're going to say. They're going to say, yeah, but so what?
McMahon will throw it. Out to Darren Nelson. Tagged down by Myron Guyton.
I still think that they could work out here on Perry Williams throwing the ball to Anthony Miller. I mean, Perry Williams has really given Anthony Miller a big cushion. McMahon says he wants to get the ball to him, and the way I think to get it to him is those outs and stuff on the sideline in front of the big cushion. I think when you're down by 2 touchdowns, you got to play a different game, and the Chargers can't go for that real short ball control stuff now.
Dan Henning is really upset about something. He is still arguing with the referee.
And he's drawing the crowd. He has 3 officials around him, so whatever he's complaining about, they're listening to him. They can't snap the ball till the referee gets back there.
I don't know what he's complaining about yet. Now I think they're saying that pass was incomplete. Maybe that was his complaint.
Well, the marker says first down.
After further review by the replay official, the play stands. The replay was inconclusive.
Yeah, that was an incomplete pass. That ball hit the ground. So it's second
down. Second down. That was the argument. It happened right in front of Henning.
Yeah, but that pass was so short it wasn't even worth arguing over.
Right.
Let him have it already.
A blitz was coming, and McMahon really took a jolt from Cox.
That was the same blitz that got him earlier. Greg Cox, one of the nickelbacks coming from the outside, looping around the left of the Giant defense and going unblocked. Watch Cox. He'll come from the left-hand side of the screen. You see him right now, right into McMahon, and he hits McMahon just as he throws it. Here's Lawrence Taylor in a holding contest with Big John Fitzgerald.
So it's 3rd and 10. McMahon got up slowly. Incomplete to Darren Nelson. Harry Williams was the defender again.
Hey, Lawrence Taylor got there that time. He's working over here against James Fitzpatrick, number 70. Watch him. He gets him. Fitzpatrick has him pretty good. Taylor spins out of it right into Jim McMahon. And again, Greg Cox was right there.
Dave Maggott back deep for the Giants. Olesic to punt it for the Chargers. They're going to run it, and it's not going to work. Jamie Holland was the ball carrier.
That was a frustrating, ugly drive by the Chargers.
Boy.
One pass that was short and got knocked down, and then 2 incomplete where your quarterback's getting knocked around. Snap it to the fullback. He hands on a reverse. The Giants don't bite. They're not fooled at all.
That was Lewis Tillman who made the play. He was a running back.
Not only was Tillman there, but there were about 5 other Giants that weren't fooled.
Dave Archer loosening up on the sideline. McMahon took a real jolt. He's sitting on the Charger bench with his head down now. Here's Anderson, left side, down to about the Charger 30. 5:45 left to play.
Well, here's Tillman here. He's not going to buy anything. He may be a rookie, but when you have a 20-6 lead and they're punting, you don't go for any nonsense. You stay there, you play your keys, you read, you come up, and you make the tackle for no gain.
Not bad for a running back.
I think Jim McMahon has probably played the last for him for today.
I think you're right.
And Henning said if they got behind or the game got out of control, he'd take them out.
Archer's warming up with Billy Joe Tolliver. Anderson inside the 25, picked up 5 more. Joe Phillips tackled him.
I think if I were Bill Parcells, I'd take O.J. Anderson out. I think that he's really, that's probably what the offensive backfield coach is telling him now, and he says, let him get 1 more first down. But I would think that he has done his fair share of the job. And what Bill Parcells is thinking here, let's just get this one over with.
25 carries. I think that's a fair share.
Well, he has 92 yards. Maybe he wants to get 100 yards again, but I'm sure at this point of his career, O.J. doesn't care.
No. He gets another try and picks up about 4. 3 make it. Another first down.
The other reason for getting an O.J. out now is you can bring in a fresh guy, and this Charger defense has been on the field a long time today.
They really have.
If you can get in a fresh guy like a Tillman or someone like that, you can bounce one out and get in an easy score.
The coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Charles Milton III. This game produced by Robert D. Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman, and the executive producer of CBS Sports, Ted Shaker. First down, 21. Carthon, right side for 4-yard pickup. Gil Bird stopped it. 3:15 left to play.
He's leaving Otis Anderson in there. Otis Anderson's bent over. He's trying to get some oxygen. He's trying to get look at that. That's always the sign of when you're tired. You always try and get as close to the grass as you can. In fact, he's taking a knee now. You see him, he just dropped to a knee.
He might have a little nap on the way back on that long flight back to New York.
He's saying, hey, Coach, we won this one. Have a little pity on me, will you?
2nd and 6. I bet you he gets it this time. No, Carthon. Fumble. And the Chargers have picked it up. Vincey Glenn. And he's gone. Billy Ray Smith made the hit that knocked the ball loose from Carthon.
You called that O.J. Anderson was going to get it. That would have been the better call. Maurice Carthon carried it, and as you said, it was Billy Ray Smith knocked that ball out of there. Watch it, Billy Ray Smith is number 54. Carthon's going to the outside. He just reached him, grabbed him, and then kept him away from getting back to the ball. Vincey Glenn came in and picked it up, and there were no other Giants out there.
Glenn's 2nd NFL touchdown. That was Zeke Mowat bending over in pain. Extra point's good, and it's 20-13. Officially 81 yards by Vincey Glenn to put the Chargers in the end zone for the first time today. 20-13. Now. The Giants expecting perhaps an onside kick, and I think they're probably going to get it. All the Chargers line up to the kicker's left, and he kicks it away. Over the head of Meggett, who downs it in the end zone. The NFL next Sunday, the Rams go to Chicago, Phoenix against Dallas. The second games, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco visits the Jets. And the NFL today begins it all. That's next Sunday at 12:30.
One play could change everything and turn it around. The Giants could have started celebrating. They were just running the clock out. Vincey Glenn picks it up, runs 81 yards. McMahon was ready to sit out. Now he's back with his helmet on, ready to go back in. What a complexion change.
They got the crowd back in the game. Anderson at the line of scrimmage, stopped by Billy Ray Smith. Timeout, Chargers. That fumble recovery return is the longest in Charger history, by the way, by Vincey Glenn. That's the story. 2:13 left in the contest. Don't forget again to join us next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time for college football action. And the undefeated Crimson Tide of Alabama takes on the 17th ranked Nittany Lions at Penn State. Second down and 9. The ball's at the 21. Chargers have just used one of their timeouts. Sam either missed the handoff or something happened, and down he goes, chased by Gary Plummer. And have they come to life all of a sudden?
Now they want a timeout. You said Gary Plummer didn't go for it, whether Sims missed the handoff or this was a bootleg. No, that was a bootleg. He was going to fake that handoff and move. Plummer started to go for the back, and then he didn't buy it. He tackled Sims. That was a heck of a play by Gary Plummer.
Now San Diego has one timeout left. Of course, they had the 2-minute warning as well.
And the last time the Giants had a punt, the Chargers went for a punt block, and I bet they would set that up again. This is a tough decision here that Bill Parcells is going through along with Ron Earhart, because you're 3rd and long. So you can't get one of those ball control things. If you're going to pass, you have to complete about a 12 or 15-yard pass. Now, do you want to take that big chance because if it's picked off here, that can be a score? Or do you want to go to the conservative way, take the conservative play and the punt?
Well, if they could keep the ball, if they should get the first down, of course, they wouldn't have much difficulty running out the clock then.
That's why it's such a big play. This is where you have to be cautiously aggressive.
3rd and 12. Gonna throw it. Just barely gets out of a sack. Flag on the play. Going to be against the Giants. George Hinkle was the man who really put the heat.
This is an interesting call for Dan Henning. And I think with time, he decided to turn down the penalty, make him punt. I think you have to do that, because a penalty there would be half the distance.
Offensive holding, number 76. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
You have to do that. I think that was a good call by Dan Henning. Now his decision is, do you go for the punt block or the punt return?
And we get the 2-minute warning. The Chargers have come to life. The Giants lead by 7. (20-13) Giants, 4th and 4. Giants have all of their timeouts remaining. The Chargers have 1. Looks like Jim McMahon will be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. The 4th and 4, I think, is important, Pat, because now the Chargers can't go for a block. Because if they were to touch the punter, Sean Landeta, that would give the Giants a first down. They have to play cautious here for a punt return.
Walker. Back for San Diego. Landeta gets off a good kick. Walker scrambles back to about the Charger 40. 47-yard punt by Landeta, a 13-yard return.
Well, that Vincey Glenn return of 81 yards changed everything. Jim McMahon, I think, was ready to go out of the game. Then that return put him back in. He got his helmet back, strapped things back on, and Dan Henning decided this is still Jim McMahon's game.
Chargers have just over 60 yards to go.
They have to start getting the ball up the field. They can't start throwing this big stuff.
Especially with only one timeout left. Giants go with 2 linemen to rush the passer, plus Lawrence Taylor. McMahon out of the pocket, gets rid of it. He is hammered again by Cox. Almost an interception by Adrian White, but the ball hit the ground. McMahon is hurting again.
Hey, remember it was that left shoulder he dislocated last week. Again, it's Greg Cox. You see, they get their normal rush, and now Cox, he was reading McMahon. He's spying him. He's staying with him. And the minute McMahon started to run, here comes Greg Cox.
And here comes McMahon out, and David Archer in.
I think he dislocated that left shoulder again.
Play as Archer gets it out to Arthur Cox, who barrels over defender Carl Banks and gets it out of bounds, but a penalty marker down. 7-yard gain.
Hey, Greg Cox only comes in on passing downs. He has made some big plays for this Giant defense today. He's made 3 big pass rushes, 2 where he came on a blitz, and that last one, he was just man-to-man on McMahon.
Illegal motion, number 70, the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
He is why McMahon came out of the game, and now he's back in. Second and 15. 1:38 left to play.
I think if I were the Chargers, I would keep an eye on Greg Cox and get him blocked.
Flag on the play. .131 left to play. Amazing the Chargers have kept this thing this close on offense. They have -1 yard in total offense.
Number 76 for the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
False start, still second down.
It's a left guard, Broderick Thompson. And again, it wouldn't have been that close because the Giants were going in for another touchdown when they fumbled and Glenn ran 81 yards. So that's like a 14-point swing.
Second and 20 now. Again, 2 defensive linemen for the Giants. Here comes Cox again. McMahon down in the arms of Eric Howard.
They got Cox. They double-teamed Cox, but then they gave a soft middle for Eric Howard to come up.
Third and 25 now with a minute 23 left to play. McMahon back to throw it. Miller pulled up. McMahon thought he was going to keep going. And here's your ball game right here. This play.
McMahon is saying he was supposed to go. As you said, McMahon threw it up, and Miller ran a hook. That's Anthony Miller on the outside, number 83. He just stops here. McMahon throws the up. He throws it 20 yards over Miller's head.
20-13. 4th and 25 now. McMahon sprints out. Wayne Walker was the intended receiver. Batted away out of bounds by Sheldon White. Not much the Chargers can do now.
That was one that wouldn't even been a first down had he caught it. And on 4th down, I like to believe you have to do it every 3rd down, but on 4th down, you have to get it beyond the first down marker. Now the Giants are about back in the same position they were before they fumbled, and Glenn ran 81 yards. The only difference is I don't think Otis Anderson is in there. Except he is. They're just going to kneel down now. They're not.
Yep. They're
not going to have that deal happen to them again.
Less than a minute.
You know, I think that Bill Parcells got a little more gray today.
I think he did.
His hair, his hair was darker when this game started.
Their record will improve to 6-1.
Well, the 2 concerns he had was, you know, that fumble, and then, of course, one of his star offensive players, Mark Bavaro, with that injury. We haven't heard any more from the Giants sideline as to how he is, but that's a big blow to this Giant team.
And that'll do it. Come over and speak with his good friend Bill Parcells. Jim McMahon took a beating, a couple of tough hits from Greg Cox, but he kept snapping back. So the Giants' record is now 6-1. Chargers are 2-5. 20-13 the final end. We'll be back in a moment in our New York studio with the highlights from around the league with Brent Musburger when we come back.
Tonight on CBS, when they arrested Joyce Ann Brown, did they arrest the wrong woman? Well, you'll make up your own mind, because 60 Minutes is coming up next, except on the West Coast. And right after that on CBS, our primetime lineup, Murder, She Wrote, then a Sunday night movie, Did You Know the Muffin Man? All right, the major story in baseball today, you heard the announcement from Fay Vincent. They are going to resume the series between the Giants and the Oakland A's, but not until Friday night, Game 3 in Candlestick Park, Friday night around 8:30, first pitch. Injuries. These are the key injuries around the league. I want to update the Joe Montana story for you. He did come back in uniform. He's on the sideline for the 49ers. Jeff Fuller suffered by far the most serious injury of all. He is not paralyzed. We're glad to report that story. Let me take you down now through the scores. These are the late games in progress. Phoenix all over Atlanta, 34-20 late in the fourth. Denver and Seattle, the Broncos have bounced back, but the Seahawks just went ahead moments ago, 20-14, awaiting now the extra point. New England and San Francisco, and of course the Giants have the best record pending the outcome of this one. Fourth quarter, the Patriots have played a splendid game for Steve Grogan. It's a 4-point number there. New Orleans and the Rams, the Saints, a dangerous team. 40-21 over the Rams, who cannot shake off the disappointment of a Monday night. Dallas and Kansas City, and now the Cowboys slide to 0-7 there. The Raiders in Philadelphia, a defensive game, and it was won by the Eagles. Pittsburgh and Houston, a shutout for the Oilers, 27-0. Indianapolis goes into Cincinnati and beats the Bengals 23-12. The Jets in Buffalo, the Jets were dreadful today, 34-3 the final. The Bills with the win there. Green Bay and Miami. Miami at the buzzer wins it 23-20 on a Pete Stoyanovich field goal. Minnesota and Detroit, 20-7, another big day for Herschel Walker, 90 yards rushing. Tampa Bay and Washington. Washington holds off 3 fourth-quarter touchdown passes by Vinny Testaverde. NBA, the McDonald's final over in Europe, and Denver has beaten the team from Yugoslavia 135-129. Let me remind you now, 2:30 next Saturday, Alabama, Penn State, NFL next Sunday at 12:30 with the NFL Today. So long, everybody.
Champions, you look to CBS Sports.